But again, the neighbors want him out because of all the fighting. So what's going on here? Let's bring in some more experts to answer this question. Joining us, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert, witness, and columnist, Dr. Carol Lieberman. What are you seeing and hearing from Courtney Clenney? Again, this is 2 days before Christian Obumseli gets a knife in his chest.
I see a woman who knows that she has to provide an alibi beforehand, similar to how after the killing, she went to Hawaii and checked herself in for PTSD and abuse, substance abuse. You know, she presumably told them that the PTSD was from domestic violence from Christian. But I think that this was all setting it up. I'm not saying that 2 days before she knew she was going to kill him, but she was trying to set herself up in general as a victim, and clearly she's not. She doesn't fit the profile of an abused woman. She's very entitled. You know, she feels that she is entitled to everything. You know, people who are influencers have this kind of strange psyche, this strange sort of way of relating to the world. They are sort of caught up in their own so-called fame or influence, and they live in that world, and then it's hard for them to sort of operate in the real world. They're kind of still, you know, expecting to be worshipped by everyone, like feeling like they are on camera still. And I think, you know, we've seen this before, and I agree that she's like Amber Heard. I was thinking of that. She's a more violent Amber Heard.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, what's going on here?
Well, if we didn't know who was saying what, you would think that he was the woman, that he was the victim of domestic violence. I mean, but I want to make sure it's clear. Men actually are victims of domestic violence so much more than people realize, because they don't want to report it because they're embarrassed to admit that they're taking this abuse. But just looking at those texts, he's playing the role of the victim. Those are typically, you know, typically what the victim of abuse says. So, you know, it's clear that he has been long time the victim. One wonders, it's really amazing. Just like when it is a woman who's the victim, she keeps coming back, and people always ask, well, why does she stay with him? One could say the same thing with him. You know, why does he stay with her? I don't think it's just a money thing. I mean, he was doing crypto, what do you call it? Bitcoin. And I think he was making money too. I don't know maybe she was making more, but.
Oh, she's making a lot more, trust me, a lot more. A lot more.
Okay, but I don't think it was just about the money. I think it was a sick relationship that they need. And she, by the way, is borderline, just like Amber Heard was borderline. And so what they are most afraid of is abandonment.
Dr. Carol Lieberman.
Yes, and it teaches men, or this should teach men to speak out, you know, to get help, to not be ashamed. But, you know, picking up on the boy situation, I was thinking the same thing. She treats him like a slave. And when she said, you're fired, you know, it's like he's her servant, her slave, and she's firing him. But what's so interesting is that she's, first of all, she's like sadistic with him, you know, in the text and how she acts and so on. But I think that a lot of that is, at least unconsciously for her way of doing the absolute worst she can in words, in actions, you know, beating him up, all of that. Because she's really getting back to the abandonment as a borderline. She's so afraid that he's going to abandon her that she does the very worst to him to try to prove to herself that he's going to stay with her. She's testing him each time. And you know, the time that he was murdered, that was when he went to a sandwich shop, and he was too long for her liking, and she suspected that he was flirting with somebody, having sex with somebody, doing something with somebody, some other woman. And the incident happened 13 minutes after he got in the door. So she was there before that, you know, building up the rage. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's cheating on me. And then he walks in, and 13 minutes later, she stabs him.
I'd like to thank you for your insight and your time tonight. Dr. Carol Lieberman, board-certified forensic psychiatrist. I know your time is valuable, so we appreciate it. Thank you so much.